The cold wind of the alien settlement moved through the empty streets as Evan, a human worker, walked slowly toward his new job. He had traveled far from the human sector, hoping this work would help him earn enough credits to survive the month. But something about this place felt different. The sky was darker, the air heavier, and the buildings looked old. As if they had been holding secrets for many years, Evan kept checking the small holomap in his hand. It showed a blinking red dot at the end of the street. That was the house he was supposed to visit. A simple repair job, the agency had told him. Fix the power unit for an alien family. Easy work. But now, as he walked, he had a strange feeling in his chest. Something was not normal. When he reached the last corner, he heard soft footsteps behind him, light, careful, almost scared. Before he could turn around, a small voice whispered, Are you the one my mother called? Evan paused, slowly turning. A little alien girl stood there, holding a broken wooden toy in her hands. Her skin had a pale blue glow, and her silver eyes looked worried. She was shaking a little, as if she was trying to look brave, but her fear was stronger. Yes, Evan said softly. I'm here for the repair job. The little girl looked at him for a long moment, then took a step closer. Her voice was low and sad when she said, I don't need a worker. I need a father. Evan froze. The words hit him like a shock. A father? Why would she say something like that? He opened his mouth to ask her what she meant, but the girl quickly stepped back, almost as if she had said something she wasn't supposed to. She looked scared and ran toward a small house at the end of the street. Evan stood there for several seconds, confused and disturbed. He finally took a deep breath and walked toward the same house. The building looked damaged. The walls had cracked lines, and the lights inside flickered weakly. He knocked gently on the metal door. After a moment, the door opened, and an alien widow stood in front of him. She was tall, with the same blue skin as the girl, though her eyes looked tired, as if she had not slept properly in days. Her clothes were simple, and she held a small tool in her hand, maybe to fix something herself. You must be the human worker, she said softly. Yes, Evan replied. I'm Evan. I'm here to repair your power unit. The widow nodded and moved back so he could enter. The house was dim, and the air felt warm but heavy, as if something inside the walls was alive, or hiding. Evan could see old furniture, broken gadgets, and small toys scattered near the doorway. The little girl sat on the floor in the corner, hugging her knees. She didn't look at him, but he felt her eyes on him the whole time. I'm Lyra, the widow said as she walked toward the back room. Please follow me. The power unit is malfunctioning. We haven't had proper heat or light for days. Evan followed, but he couldn't help glancing at the little girl again. Her face looked sad, not just scared. As if she had lost something important. As if her words had come from a place of real pain. When they reached the back room, Evan saw the power unit. It was large, broken, and sparking slightly. Not an easy job, but repairable. He put his tools on the floor and started examining the system. Lyra stood quietly behind him, her arms folded. She looked nervous. Not the kind of nervous someone has when their heater is broken. This was different. Deeper. Your daughter spoke to me outside, Evan said carefully while checking the wires. Lyra stiffened. What did she say? Evan hesitated. She said she doesn't need a worker. She needs a father. Silence, a long heavy silence. Lyra finally lowered her eyes. I'm sorry, she whispered. She has been lonely since her father died. She didn't mean anything by it. Evan nodded slowly, though he wasn't fully convinced. There was more to the story. He could feel it. The sadness in the girl's voice was too real, too honest. As he fixed the unit piece by piece, he heard a strange sound behind the wall. A low metallic thump. Something moving. Evan paused. What was that? Lyra quickly moved closer, blocking his view of the wall. Just old structure noise, she said too fast. This house is very old. But Evan wasn't sure. He pressed his ear to the wall for a moment. The sound came again, slow, heavy, almost like the footsteps of something mechanical. He stepped back, uneasy but focused on the job again. After 20 minutes, he had repaired most of the power grid. The lights around the house brightened slightly. The little girl peeked in from the doorway, watching him silently. "Hey," Evan said gently. "Your home will be warmer soon." The girl didn't smile. Instead, she walked closer and tugged lightly on his shirt. Her silver eyes looked up at him with a quiet desperation. "Please, don't leave us tonight." Evan blinked. "Why? Is something wrong?" Before she could answer, Lyra hurried over and grabbed her daughter's hand. "Enough, Mira," she said quickly. "Go to your room." The girl stepped back slowly, still looking at Evan with fear. Evan felt his heartbeat increase. Something was definitely wrong here. He finished the repair and stood up. "The power unit should work fine now," he told Lyra. "But is there something else going on?" "Your daughter," Lyra shook her head. "It's nothing. You should go before dark. Humans don't normally stay here." Evan gathered his tools. But as he stepped toward the door, he saw the little girl standing in the hallway again. This time, she wasn't hugging her knees. She was pointing toward the floor, a wooden panel, a hidden door. Her lips moved silently, speaking a word with no sound. "Please." Evan knelt down and touched the floor. The wood was trembling slightly, as if something under it was moving. Lyra suddenly stepped between him and the panel. "You cannot open that," she said sharply. Her voice held a crack of fear. Evan stood slowly. His instincts screamed danger, but also something else. Someone here needed help. He looked at Lyra. "Whatever is down there. Is it why your daughter said she needs a father?" Lyra didn't answer. A loud metallic bang came from under the floor. The little girl screamed. The lights flickered. Evan stepped back as the wooden panel lifted, just an inch but enough to show a faint blue glow coming from below. Something below the house was waking up. For a moment, everything in the house became still. Only the soft trembling of the wooden floorboard moved, slow, heavy, and frightening. Evan took a step back, gripping his tool bag tightly. The little girl, Mira, stood frozen in the hallway. Her small hands covered her ears as another metallic thud echoed from below the floor. Her silver eyes were wide with fear. Lyra, the alien widow, quickly wrapped her arm around the girl and pulled her close. But even she couldn't hide her panic this time. Her breathing was sharp, and her skin shimmered a deeper blue when she was afraid. Evan swallowed hard. "There's something down there." Lyra didn't reply. She didn't need to. The fear in her eyes said everything. Another thud. Then a grinding noise like metal scraping against stone. The wooden panel shook again. Mira cried out, "Mama!" He woke up. He woke up. Evan felt a cold shiver crawl through his spine. Something woke up? Someone? A machine? A creature? This wasn't part of the job he was hired for. But he couldn't leave now. Not with a child screaming. Not with a family hiding something dangerous. He slowly stepped toward the panel. "Lyra, whatever is under the floor, you cannot open it," she shouted suddenly, grabbing his arm. "It will get worse if he knows you're here." "He," Evan repeated. "There's a he under the floor?" Lyra looked away, trembling. "Please, Evan, you fix the power. That is enough. Take your pay and leave before he breaks out." Mira tugged at Evan's sleeve again, her voice shaking. "Mama says he is dangerous. But Papa said he would protect us. But Papa died, and now he is confused." Evan knelt down to Myra's level. "Who is he?" Before she could answer, the panel burst upward, throwing dust into the air. A loud mechanical growl filled the room. From the opening, A pair of glowing blue eyes stared up, cold, robotic, searching. Evan moved in front of Mira on instinct, shielding her with his body. Slowly, a large metallic arm rose from the darkness below, damaged, sparking, but still powerful. Its sharp fingers gripped the wooden edges of the hole as the machine pulled itself up. Lyra gasped. No, stay down. Stay down. The robot ignored her. It climbed up fully, standing tall and unstable. Its metal body was scratched and dented, parts glowing faintly from internal energy. A broken speaker inside its chest crackled. Identity, scan. Failed, the robot said in a slow, glitching voice. Evan lifted his hands calmly. Easy, I'm not a threat. The robot's head turned toward him. Unknown human, access not granted, mode, alert. Mira hid behind Evan, clutching the back of his jacket. Lyra pulled her daughter further behind, fear rising in her eyes. Evan stepped back. His heart beat loudly, but he kept his voice steady. I'm just here to help your family. I fixed the power. The robot hummed, processing. Then it said something chilling. Primary owner. Deceased. Secondary protection protocol active. Unknown human. Potential threat. Evan's blood turned cold. Lyra rushed forward, placing herself between Evan and the robot. Stop, he is not a danger. He is a worker. He helped us. The robot's arm twitched sharply. Worker unit. Not identified. Threat level. Uncertain. It took a heavy step forward. The ground shook. Evan whispered to Lyra, "What is this thing?" Lyra's voice broke. "My husband's guardian robot. He built it to protect us. But after he died, it broke. It doesn't understand. It attacks anyone it doesn't recognize." "Then why is it under the floor?" Evan asked. Lyra closed her eyes. "We trapped it there. We tried to fix it, but we failed. It only wakes when power returns." Evan's stomach tightened. The power unit he repaired woke the robot up. Another huge step. The robot leaned down, its glowing eyes staring directly at Evan's face. "State your purpose," it demanded. "Why are you in my home?" Evan kept his voice calm. "I'm fixing things. I'm helping." The robot's head tilted, glitching left and right. Sparks flew from its shoulder. "Help. Unknown. Threat possibility." "Hi," Lyra screamed. "Stop. Stop, please." But the robot raised its arm. The sharp metal fingers pointed toward Evan. Energy lines glowed bright blue across its arm. Mira began crying. "Please, Papa's robot. Stop, he's good. He's good." Evan stepped backward, trying to stay between the robot and the two aliens. He spoke firmly, "Listen. I'm not here to hurt anyone. If you let me, I can fix you too. I can repair your systems." The robot paused. Its glowing eyes blinked. "Repair. Possibility." It whispered, almost as if remembering something old. Evan used that moment. "Yes, I know machines. I can fix your broken circuits. But you need to stand down. No attacking." The robot trembled. Its body flickered, showing images on its chest plate, old recordings, glitchy and broken. One of the images looked like a male alien, smiling and touching the robot's shoulder. "That's him," Lyra whispered behind Evan. "My husband." The robot listened only to him. The robot suddenly jerked violently, breaking the image. Primary owner. Lost, protection mode. Chaotic. Its arm rose again, energy building for a strike. Evan shouted, "Lyra! Mira, get back!" Lyra pulled her daughter away, shielding her behind a table. Evan looked around quickly. He needed something, anything, to slow the robot. On the wall was a loose metal pipe. He grabbed it fast. The robot swung its arm. Evan blocked with the pipe, sparks exploding everywhere as metal hit metal. The force pushed him back, slamming him against the wall. Myra! Screamed. Evan fell to the floor, but quickly rolled aside as the robot crashed its arm down where he had been. Lying, ending threat, the robot declared. I'm trying to help. Evan yelled. The robot ignored the words. Evan's mind raced. Then he saw it. The robot's back panel was broken, exposing the internal core wires. If he could reach that area, he might temporarily shut it down. He jumped up and ran in a wide circle around the robot. It turned slowly, trying to track him. For a moment, its sensors lagged because of its damage. Evan lunged forward, grabbed the loose wires, and yanked. The robot jerked violently, lights flickering. It staggered back, crashing into the doorframe. System interrupted. Core desktop. It fell to one knee, shaking. Evan ran back, panting, his hands shaking. Lyra rushed to the robot and placed her hand on its metal head. Stop. Please stop. He is not your enemy. The robot's lights dimmed slightly. Its voice lowered. Primary owner. Left. A message. Everyone froze. Lyra whispered. A message? The robot clicked, jittered, and a soft recording started playing from its chest speaker. A warm male voice came through. Lyra, Mira. If you are hearing this, it means I'm gone. This robot will protect you until someone kind comes along. Someone who can help fix him. And help you. Lyra covered her mouth. Tears filled her eyes. Evan stared, breathless. The recording ended. The robot looked at Evan. New human. Possible helper. Then it powered down. Falling silent. Mira slowly walked to Evan and held his hand tightly. You didn't run, she whispered. Papa said only a brave human could help us. Evan squeezed her hand gently, still shocked but calm. I'm not going anywhere. But deep inside, he knew this wasn't the end, that it was only the beginning of something bigger. The house was silent except for the soft hum of the powered-down robot. Dust floated in the air, and the lights flickered weakly as the energy system tried to stabilize. Evan stood still, breathing hard, his muscles tense from the fight. His shirt was torn at the shoulder, and a faint scratch marked his arm. But Myra didn't look at the scratch. She only looked at the human who didn't run away when he had the chance. Lyra slowly touched the robot's cold metal shoulder. You should not have attacked him, she whispered to the machine, even though it could no longer respond. Evan is not like the others. The robot's eyes were dim, but the faintest pulse of blue light blinked once, almost like an apology. Evan gently helped Mira stand beside her mother. It's safe for now, he said, his voice soft. But only for a short time. I shut him down by interrupting the power wires. As soon as the energy rebalances, he will restart. Lyra looked up sharply. Restart? In how long? Evan shrugged tiredly. Maybe an hour. Maybe a few minutes. Mira squeezed his hand tightly. Please don't leave. Her small voice nearly broke him. Evan took a deep breath. I'm not leaving. But we need to fix him properly, or he will repeat the same attack. Lyra lowered her head. We tried many times. We failed. My husband was the only one who understood him. Evan knelt beside the robot and began examining the broken core more carefully. Maybe I can understand him too, he said quietly. Mira sat beside him. Her tiny blue fingers touched the robot's dented knee. Papa built him to protect us. But after Papa died, he didn't know who to protect anymore. Evan nodded gently. Machines follow rules. If rules break, they become lost. He paused, then added softly, just like people. Lyra watched him from the doorway, this lonely human worker, covered in dust, staying in a home he could have easily escaped. Something warm moved inside her chest. Why are you helping us this much? She asked. Evan didn't look up. I lost my family too, he said quietly. Long time ago. I know how it feels to be alone. No one should live like that. Lyra's eyes softened. The robot reactivated. A sudden spark flickered on the robot's back. Evan jumped slightly. He's rebooting. The robot lifted its head just an inch. Its voice was low, broken. System. Partially restored. Scanning. Mira clung to Evan's arm. Don't hurt him. He's good. The robot's blue eyes flickered between Evan and the girl. Primary value, protect Mira. It said slowly, as if rediscovering its original purpose. Evan raised both hands calmly. I'm here to fix you. Let me help. The robot's sensors processed this. A soft click echoed from inside its chest. Recording. Playing message. The second pre-recorded message played one Evan hadn't heard before. The voice of Lyra's husband spoke lovingly. If a human finds you, trust him. Humans helped me when our people turned away. Let him guide you if I cannot. Lyra, Myra. Trust kindness, not fear. Lyra gasped softly. Mira's eyes shone with tears. The robot slowly lowered its head toward Evan. New protector. Accepted. Evan blinked. What? Lyra stepped forward. He is choosing you, she whispered, stunned. The robot thinks you can take my husband's place as protector of the home. Mira looked at Evan as if the universe finally made sense. You can stay, right? You can help us? Evan didn't answer immediately. His heart felt heavy and warm at the same time. Let me finish fixing him first, he said. Then, we will see. The full REPAR Evan worked carefully, using wires, small tools, and his steady hands to rebuild the robot's damaged circuits. Lyra helped by bringing old spare parts her husband had left behind. Mira held a light so Evan could see better. Minutes turned to hours. Slowly, the robot's body steadied. The cracks glowed more evenly. The internal hum became smooth, like a heartbeat returning to normal. Evan finally stepped back and wiped sweat from his forehead. All right, he said. Try standing. The robot whirred, then rose to full height. Lights across its body glowed bright and stable. Its voice was clear for the first time. Self-repair complete. Functionality restored. Mira ran to it and hugged its leg. Papa's robot. You're back. The robot gently placed its large hand over her small head. Hello, Myra. Lyra covered her mouth, tears running down her cheeks. Thank you, Evan. You did what even my husband couldn't finish. Evan felt emotion climb his chest. I only did what anyone should do. But Lyra shook her head slowly. No, many humans came before you. They were scared. They left us alone. Mira ran to Evan and wrapped her small arms around him. I want you to stay, she whispered. Evan's DCSION. The room became quiet. Evan looked at the little girl holding him. Then at the widow standing with hope in her eyes. Then at the robot standing guard like a loyal ancient warrior. A family shattered by loss. A house filled with fear. A child begging not for a worker, but for a father. His throat tightened. He had been alone for years. No place to belong. No one to care for. No one waiting for him. He looked at Lyra. If I stay, what do you expect from me? Lyra stepped closer, her voice soft. Not to replace my husband. Not to fill a space that cannot be filled. Just stay with us. Help us, be part of our home. Mira squeezed his hand. Be my papa, she whispered. Evan froze. The words touched a wound inside him that he didn't know was still open. Slowly. Very slowly. He smiled. I can try, he said. Myra's face lit up. She jumped and hugged him tightly. Lyra let out a breath she'd been holding for days. The robot raised its large arm and placed it gently on Evan's shoulder. New household role confirmed. Protector. Evan laughed softly. Protector, huh? That's a big title. The robot replied, primary owner believed in humans. Now, I do too. The family REFORMs later that evening. The house was brighter. The repaired power unit worked perfectly. The robot stood guard peacefully in the corner. Mira played with her toys again, smiling for the first time in months. Lyra brewed a warm drink and handed a cup to Evan. "Welcome home," she said quietly. Evan felt warmth in his chest. A real home. A real family. Something he never expected to find on a distant alien world. He looked at Mira playing. At Lyra smiling softly. At the robot watching over them protectively. For the first time in years, Evan didn't feel lonely. He felt needed. He felt seen. He felt chosen. And as the night grew calm and the lights glowed gentle, Evan whispered, "I'm staying." The robot bowed its metal head in approval. The alien widow smiled with relief. And the little alien girl, with silver shining eyes, whispered, "Thank you, Papa."